Before an athlete becomes an international celebrity, she has to be a champion. Before that, thousands of lonely hours training. And for a skater, thousands of falls, too. It would be hard to find an athlete more dedicated, harder working than Michelle Kwan, a champion many times over. She arrived in Salt Lake City, arguably the best female skater in history. But when she left, her medal was bronze, not gold. Tonight, Michelle Kwan in her first primetime interview since the Games.
A lot of people the last few days have come up to me because they know how much I wanted to win. And they don't know what to say to me, you know, whether to congratulate me for winning the bronze or...
What's the right thing to say to you then?
You know, just that you made us proud and that they know that I skated my heart out, and that's all that matters.
Michelle Kwan.
Michelle Kwan skates with her heart. It's her passion and artistry above all that has made her the most decorated figure skater America has ever produced. In her 10-year career, the only prize that has eluded her was the one she wanted most ever since she was a 7-year-old girl watching the 1988 Winter Games.
When I watched Brian Boitano win the gold, I'm like, I want to be there. He had a sense of freedom, sense of joy, passion for the sport, and that's what I feel. I feel that there's so much love, so much enjoyment.
Michelle made her Olympic debut at 13, an alternate in 1994 when the Tonya Harding-Nancy Kerrigan soap opera dominated the Games.
Triple toe loop.
4 years later, a 17-year-old Michelle arrived at Nagano, Japan.
Wow.
Then, as now, Michelle Kwan was the favorite to win. She skated a clean program.
Tara Lipinski.
Only to see a 15-year-old Tara Lipinski snatch the gold medal. Kwan settled for silver.
My dad always reminds me the ice is very slippery. Be careful.
Everybody slips sometimes, but Michelle Kwan slips less often than most. She's posted more perfect sixes in competition than anyone in history. She's won 6 national and 4 world championships. Arriving in Salt Lake, she was the strong favorite to win. And the crowds let her know it.
I got on the ice and I looked up and they were standing on their feet. It's like, okay, concentrate, Michelle. And I see the American flags waving and it's just incredible.
Oh!
Kwan skated flawlessly and was in first place going into the long program.
Sarah Hughes.
Then history began to repeat itself when another American teenager stepped onto the ice.
I remember the first time I met Sarah. It was at a restaurant. My family and I were having dinner, and this little girl comes up, and she came up, she's like, "Can I have your autograph?"
Does Sarah skate with that same kind of thing that Brian Boitano had and that you have?
Sarah has a fire in her, and she skated the most amazing program.
The judges and the crowd agreed. Sarah Hughes' performance was spectacular. The drama built.
Michelle behind those doors.
They'd cut to those silver doors closed. Michelle is behind there. What were you doing behind those closed doors?
I had a lot of time after the 6-minute warm-up, and I mean, it is difficult because you hear the marks of the other skaters, you hear the audience applauding.
Now skating under the pressure of the world's expectations, not to mention her own.
I dedicated 16 years into ice skating, and I couldn't have worked harder. I couldn't have been any more prepared, and felt like, okay, go out there and just skate, Michelle. Skate. Skate for everybody. Skate for yourself.
And she skated with fire and intensity. And for a few moments, her dream of a gold medal was so close she could almost touch it. And then...
Do you know what went wrong? Do you know why you didn't hit it?
Well, there was a lot of things that went wrong. I think I was rushing it a little too much in the setup. I can see it. I was on the ice yesterday. I didn't miss one.
When you skated off the ice and you met your father who was waiting there for you, you said, "Daddy, I didn't quit." I think those 3 words were loaded with meaning.
Well, the 4 minutes are pretty intense when you're out on the ice, and you have a lot of time to think. And, you know, when I made a mistake early on in the program, I could have easily have jumped out of the performance and could have made a lot more mistakes.
But at that moment, you demonstrated for everyone your character. The rest of your skate was about character, wasn't it?
In the middle of my performance, I knew I had to be perfect. And I knew it was like slipping out of my hands, and I knew it wasn't going to be the dream performance that I've always, you know, visualized. And it was hard. I mean, when I got off the ice, I said, I'm proud of myself because I didn't quit in the performance.
Do you have any regrets?
My dad, he said, never have any regrets. And for me right now, I have no regrets.
This can't be easy for Michelle.
But afterward, the second guessing. Was she right to fire her coach only a few months before the games? Was the pressure to be perfect too much to bear?
I think I slept about 30 minutes after the long program. Just because you can replay the performance in your head over and over, and it's hard because you say, what if, what if, what if?
Michelle might take a page from her own book, The Winning Attitude.
Michelle Kwan said in her book, remember your successes.
Could you read it to me, please? It's true. And my dad, this past week, has been telling me, you know, skating has been good to you. And I know that. Deep inside, I know that. But it's just disappointing sometimes when you have this one dream to win the Olympic gold, to stand on top of the podium. And you're so close to it, and it doesn't come true.
It wasn't perfect, but it was courageous.
She's only 21. Her dream might yet come true. Though Michelle Kwan has been a competitor so long, some think she must be too old to keep skating.
How old are you? You're still amateur? You're still competing? You're going to the Olympics? I thought you were like 33 or something. I'm thinking to myself, you know, if I stay in for another 4 years, then they'll think I'm like 40 or something.
What everybody wants to know, will Michelle Kwan compete in the Olympics again in 2006?
It's hard to commit yourself to 4 years, but I'm taking gradual steps and just take my time and see where it leads me, because...
Okay, I'm not going to ask you for a commitment, but you're leaning more for or more not?
Right in the middle.
She intends to keep her eligibility. But it's possible that the exhibition skate at Salt Lake was Michelle Kwan's last appearance on Olympic ice.
The crowd was so super, so loving. It was amazing. And in the middle of my performance, I started crying just because so many emotions, you know. I love skating because it's such a beautiful sport, so soothing, so comforting. That night I felt like, this is why I love it. This is why I'm here.